She's out for the day.
Speaking of robots, 2 human robots are going to be fighting in the UFC. Do you want to set this up?
One cyborg and one
Android,
robot. Like one,
androids and cyborgs.
One's like what are the two phones?
It's like the battle for
Android and the Apple, right? Like it's literally like that.
You know how they name fights like the Thriller in Manila, yada yada. What do you think this one should be called?
The Nerd and the Turd.
It has to be something with
yeah.
That laugh you did at the end, you just made yourself chuckle.
Hey, the sadistic versus the autistic.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh
my god!
Thank you.
Zing.
A zing. So all right. So what he's getting at is Mark Zuckerberg will be facing Elon Musk in the ring.
Can I make a point real fast?
Absolutely.
So everyone, I see all like the little polls they do on YouTube channels, like who do you think is going to win? So it's always like 79% Elon Musk. This is a classic case of betting with your heart and not with your brain.
Yes.
So
let's put money on it.
Yes. You want to?
Let's join forces, get as much money as we raise.
I don't know what Elon Musk is into. He's never promoted doing combat sports, but we do know that Mark Zuckerberg is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu and just won a competition.
Yes, he's a monster.
So we love fight talk in general. We always talk about trained versus untrained. If this is that situation, he doesn't stand not a snowball's chance in hell, bro. No. Nothing.
I was literally watching a video before this was even publicized. I was watching a video with him training with Stylebender and Alex Volkanovski. And listen, obviously those guys are literally the height of whatever. It is. They're the best of the best, right?
There's levels.
But he was like kind of like not keeping up because they murdered him, but he was doing what they were doing.
Like he looked like he had skills.
He was okay to go in there and roll and do a simple exercise with those guys where 99% of you can't. So that's all there's to it. Musk is going to get murdered. I am putting my money on it. Would I like to see Mark Zuckerberg dead in the street? Sure, who wouldn't? But I am putting my money on that full. There's not even a question.
What if like instead like Elon taps out, but Mark doesn't let him go and he just chokes him to death in front of the entire world?
You know how Elon Musk is built? He's built like those guys you were talking about.
He's actually a pretty big guy, though, like tall-wise. I think he's a big frame guy, right? Yeah, he's a relatively big dude. I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is like, though.
But the whole point of Gracie Doe is that the bigger guy doesn't have the advantage. Because once you're rolling around on the fucking ground, suddenly it doesn't mean anymore.
Yeah, especially with jiu-jitsu.
They get tired out. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally like a cheat code for like, you know what I mean? Like the dudes that weren't given that crazy height and size, you know?
Well, it's more an understanding of leverage than it is actual physical strength.
Yeah.
So
and
like judo, same way.
They tell you the first thing they tell you in jiu-jitsu is to relax. You're just rolling and putting this way, and you're not like forcibly. You know, it's just how.
Well, you want to be fluid.
You move his arm. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And you want to be flexible too.
Frank Mir taught me. Listen, I don't know shit about jiu-jitsu, but I did a couple classes.
Oh, actual Frank Mir.
I was training for a second.
I thought you were setting up for a joke.
I was training for a second. I've always ever been a white belt. I'm not telling you I'm training or anything like that. But I was at Drysdale, and the coach Greg liked me. He trained my daughter. He was great, and I wound up taking his adult class. I was honestly at my fattest at this point. It was rough. It was rough. But Frank Mir comes over and he goes, "Come here, big guy." And that's
Is that how he talks to you?
When a heavyweight tells you big guy.
He pats you on the head.
I was like, right there, Frank. I just sucked. So he comes over and he puts me in a key lock, and then he puts his shoulder or his elbow on my neck, and I instantly died. Like, listen,
Really?
I literally instantly died. And he told me, he goes, right here, it's your
the carotid artery.
The carotid artery.
My buddy did a blood choke on me once. I'll tell you about that. Go ahead. Same thing though.
And Frank Mir's advice to me, he says, listen, man, he's like, I usually try to set up one and go for the other. He's like, just to change it up. He's like, this is the thing, man. He's like, I could get you in this key lock. He's like, and you're probably gonna tap. He's like, but I got a good. He's like, you also have the chance to get out. He's like, am I gonna go for a bad cold? He's like, or am I going to go for that stage 4 pancreatic?
Interesting. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how he thinks. That's how he thinks.
How that man's not a killer.
That's horrifying.
Dude,
you're like pancreatic.
Yeah.
All day. Obviously.
Well, you don't want to sneeze everywhere.
You don't want to live.
An idiot? Yeah. What if I was an idiot? You don't want to sneeze, right? Buy tissues? No, but that was like one of those things. Like, I had a couple fighters. I met a handful of celebrities in my life, and for some reason, fighters were always the best guys. Floyd Mayweather. I asked him if I could shake his hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's alone, by the way. He grabs my hand and goes, hell yeah, you can.
No
and he
shit,
starts
that's cool,
asking
man.
about my night. I was working
Really?
graveyard at Smith's, and I'm like, by the way, remember you told me we get off track?
Yeah.
It started off as Musk. He grabs my hand and he goes, how's your night going, man? And he's like, ask me a question. And I'm like, oh, so you're a great guy, but you know how to sell fights.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay,
That's awesome,
gotcha,
dude.
thank you.
Floyd Mayweather gets a bad rap. I actually like the guy.
Yeah, he's the great.
He's a tremendous champion. He's a true legend. For all else being equal, like, you got to give him his respect. Like,
I know
he overcame a lot.
I know this is a really casual thing to say, and I know you love Roy Jones Jr. and
Best
I know,
of all time.
I know you got
The
an intelligence
best
for boxing,
of all
more,
time.
but I'm telling you, I say in my mind, I say great. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer that ever lived.
It's subjective.
Yeah,
You're allowed.
Yeah, well, it's one.
I'll
of those,
allow it.
It's like I'm running off.
Would you
the
say that to
numbers
Roy
thing.
Jones Jr.'s face?
He'd kill me. I would get up. I go,
He'd
hey,
kill
Roy,
me.
what the fuck you about? Do my high voice. I go, what the fuck you about to do?
You're just asleep before you even finish the
No, yeah,
sentence.
that's how it go. It would murder me.
Oh, real quick, back to the blood choke thing. My buddy Desi, this is way back in the day. He was good at jujitsu, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, "How fast do you pass out?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to put you in a lock." And he's like, "I'm not going to drop you." He goes, "But as soon as I squeeze," he's like, "you're going to start to black out." And I'm like, "No way, I'll be able to resist this." So he puts me in the lock. He leans against the wall. He barely squeezes, and I literally just started blacking out instantaneously. So that's why it's like, if your chin's not tucked or if they get that lock
you're
in,
done.
it is over.
It's literally cutting off any and all oxygen
But
to your
I
brain.
thought there was like
Thank you.
residual blood, like kind of circulating. No,
Yeah.
once that gets cut off, it's a light
The
switch.
reserve is empty.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah, you're just
man.
gone.
That's why, I mean, like, these guys train their entire lives, and when they get that real rear naked chokehold in, that's why it's like a good 4 seconds, and that, you know, they've been training their whole life, and that's it. Goodbye, thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So we got Mark Zuckerberg. I'm gonna bet on him.
No, we're gonna bet on him. Let's go in together.
Yeah,
Is it? Even though it's like, I'm sure they're gonna have him as the favorite because those bookies don't fuck around.
No, the bookies will have it right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that they'll have Zuckerberg as the favorite?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
No,
that's right.
it sucks.
The bookies don't care about heart, dude.
Yeah,
they just care
no,
about
not
money,
at all.
and they're really good at handicapping.
But I've seen sometimes where
they
have
get
a
it wrong.
favorite. Yeah, they've gotten it wrong.
Every time
Yeah.
I bet, it's like I only bet boxing because I deeply understand the sport.
Yeah.
And I understand when they got it wrong and why, but it is rare. But I look for those situations.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like a few years back, it was Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale. And they had first, second, and third round was like plus 2,000, plus 1,500, plus 2,500, et cetera, to knock him out in the first 3 rounds. And I watched both of them fight, and I'm like, it's a 100% chance he's going to get knocked out. So they got that one wrong. We made a shit ton of money. I told all my friends in the casino to bet on that, man. He slept him in the first round with 1 shot.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was a shot heard round the world, man. It was crazy.
Somebody ran up to me and goes, Holly home, Holly home, Holly home. And I'm like,
I was the only one that picked her to beat Ronda Rousey.
dude, if you knew it, then you knew that she was a one-trick pony, and anybody that got
She
in
was
there
one-dimensional.
even with the slightest bit of boxing and Muay Thai,
Dude,
they're gonna
all
they're gonna
Ronda
kill her.
Rousey would do is just bulldoze in a straight line. She uses no lateral movement, no angle. She doesn't come in behind a jab. She bulldozes in.
Yeah.
She does a hip toss to an arm bar, and that's her whole game. And I knew that Holly Holm was a boxer before, so I know
Yes.
she's gonna cut angles and piece her up on the way in. So that's what she did all night. She would piece her up and then move out laterally.
back out, come on,
'Cause
thank
what
you.
happens is, like, when someone's chasing you and you're moving straight back, they can move faster forwards than you can moving straight back. But if you go lateral, they have to change positions and cut an angle, which buys you time.
And those few extra,
those seconds are
milliseconds
everything.
that you're turning.
It might as well
is
be
getting
10,000
picked off.
years.
Yeah,
That's- if you're
absolutely.
good with it.
Not only that, our boy John Jones trained her for that fight.
Really?
Dude, listen, that is the man behind
He's the
knocking off.
greatest fighter of all
God,
time,
he's
in
so
my opinion.
amazing,
I
man.
love that guy.
And she's the female him. She's tall, very muscular,
Long.
very dude. And
she's
killed
crisp.
her.
She's sharp.
You know what's funny though? She you hate to see it because I do respect Ronda Rousey for what she did. All right, she
dislike her.
built that division. Listen, she's a cunt, but she built that division. She did. She built the women's division. She did. She built that.
I
will give
get
to her.
that.
But
well, her marketing team built it.
but like it just sucks. Like when somebody takes such an epic loss, that they never are the same.
Dude, it changed her.
Yeah.
I heard she's trying to come back.
She is. She was. Dude, her face is. I saw a picture.
Ronda, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Stay in the WWE or whatever it is you're doing now.
Dude,
It never works.
You're making a good pretty penny over there. You might as well just stick around. You're not going to get hurt. Honestly, man, I would literally fear for her at this point.
It's going to be embarrassing.
And
It's
by the
gonna
way,
be embarrassing.
these girls are 10 times better they are now than when you left.
And on top of the evolution of the sport, which is a big deal, by the way.
Absolutely.
Also, you're way out of your prime, and you've already locked in your fighting style from years and years of training that way. To reinvent yourself as a fighter when you're hardwired to fight a certain way out of your prime, it's impossible. Dude, you're not going to be able to do it.
I always think of that. I think
good luck, though.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Aside from fighting, I always thought about like the evolution of sports and like how far it's come and stuff like that. And then the people, you know, they talk about the great and stuff like that. If you put Earl Monroe and like the Knickerbockers or whatever the hell they were in the 70s, like if you put Earl Monroe and the Knickerbockers and you go against right now, like or even when they were real good, like with the Fab Three and all that,
right.
You put them against guys, they're going to win like 190-0. I don't care what anybody says, dude. It used to be you run up to the paint, you do a quick layup, you go back the other way.
They'll be leaping over you with nuts dragging across your forehead, dude.
Just LeBron's penis rubbed against your face while he's
just like just looking down on you,
and you're like, and one of them go, hey, why did he get 3 points for that? And like, look where he
jumped. 2 for the nuts.
No, he jumped from the 3-point line.
He's doing the NBA Jam boom shakalaka.
He's spinning. You hear some man. He's like, "You're on fire."
He's heating up.
Yeah, he's heating up. Oh, dude, that is so fucking funny, man.
So Mark Zuckerberg all day. What's on the next part of the docket?
Listen,
sorry, we got to move through, guys.
Nah, man, we can
do this for hours.
The
and we're
trail never ends.
We've been.